What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this situation with Ray J and Kim Kardashian, the Kardashian family. Recently, Ray J has came out and said that he was working with the authorities to expose Kim Kardashian, right, and the Kardashian family. I'm kind of wondering. I want to know how you all feel about this situation, though. Like, do you think that Ray J is putting himself in danger? Like, is Ray J really is Ray J, in your opinion? Do you think he's playing with fire? Now, I know some people said that the reports of that, like Ray J, they gave Ray J some hush money for this situation, but I don't know. I think this is a dangerous situation for Ray J. And not only because of the power that like, and the money that these people have, but the fact that Ray J may even have some skeletons in his closet that somebody might be able to leverage against him, right? And so, as soon as he cashed this, if he did receive the $5 million hush money that people are talking about, as soon as he cashed that check, somebody might come out the closet, and try to extort him, or want some hush money from him. So Ray J, I think, has to be in a position where he has to be very careful with what he do. Even though he might even be operating well he might be in a space where he say, "Well, man, I don't care what y'all say about me. I don't have nothing to hide. Go ahead and expose whatever you feel like you want to expose." He might have that mindset too, right? Which that mindset will put him in even more danger, because if if he feel like you can't expose him and ain't no shame in his game, then somebody may want to permanently um get rid of Ray J. So Ray J he has to be very careful in these type of situations when you start extorting people and stuff like that. I don't know if Ray J is kind of if he's desperate for money or something like that. I don't know. But this is a dangerous game that he's playing. He might have won the battle, but you gotta consider the war. You want to win the war, not just the battle. But let me play uh what Ray J had to say about the situation, like him working with the FBI to expose the Kardashians.
KK and Chris.
I would keep going.
Ooh, the federal
ready,
RICO
so-
I'm about to drop on Chris and Kim is about to be crazy. The feds is coming. There's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy.
That's Kim Kardashian's ex Ray J off camera, sharing a vague but wild warning to the reality star and her momager on a live stream this week. In it, he claims to be working with authorities to bring the family down.
Anybody know Kim and cool with Kim? They need to tell her now. The rain is coming. The feds is coming.
Does that person have that kind of personality that they would be capable of something like that they could pull off a fraud at a high level?
Only thing I can say is you can't put it past anybody. It's worse than Diddy. The feds are coming to investigate. Yeah, because it's like, I can't be the dirty guy no more.
Ray J did not share specifics or any evidence to back up his allegations, and it would be strange to go public with something as secretive as this, but you heard him mention Diddy. That's because RICO, or racketeering, was a big part of the hip-hop mogul's blockbuster trial back in May.
It's basically a charge on an enterprise. It was started to go after the mob. So the legislature implemented the RICO to say, hey, it doesn't matter if you're the actual person doing the crime. If you're part of an enterprise and you're participating or involved in it, you can be held accountable. Now it's turned into a big sword for the government on a number of different fronts.
Diddy was acquitted of his alleged RICO violation. A single charge carries the possibility of up to 20 years in prison. So where does Ray J fit into all of this? Well, we know he and Kim have an interesting history.
You said that sexually she hypnotized you.
Absolutely. I was hypnotized. It was a roller coaster ride of fun and emotions and infidelity. We lied the same. We cheated the same. God makes no mistakes.
The pair dated on and off for years in the early 2000s, and it was their leaked sex tape that catapulted her fame months before Keeping Up with the Kardashians made it to TV in 2007.
Ever since the sex tape scandal, I have to be really careful at how I'm perceived.
And I shot the tape, 5.5 years ago, when I was like 21, 22 in Cabo. Just having fun, just living life recklessly. Being young.
Come on, this starts when we get to the airport.
How painful was it for you when your home video went public?
Obviously that's nothing that you want to be seen. You think you do something in private, and then the whole world sees something and you're not prepared for it.
The embarrassment, family wanting to know what's going on. I had sponsorships, I had deals on the table that, were eliminated.
Was making that tape a mistake?
Absolutely.
When you have your family and the people that you are surrounded by know you and who you are, it makes everything so much better.
I wish them the best, and I pray that, they do change in the future so they can be happy.
So look, the Kardashians have really benefited from this tape. And in other interviews, Ray J has said that the tape was orchestrated. Like the mother had seen the tape, and like that wasn't the only tape. She had told them like they had a choice between, I think it was 2 tapes, and she chose the one that she thought was best for them to go public with, right? So it was all orchestrated. And you can kind of believe it. Ray J, number one, he says it. Then number two, it comes out right before their show. As you heard the report, that tape hits right before the show, their reality show. So the whole Kardashian, like that right there is the foundation for what their empire was built on, was that sex tape. And they took that sex tape and parlayed that into like becoming billionaires. So I'm wondering though, like, what does Ray J know about this family that would interest the FBI? Like what? I don't know. It just seemed hard to believe that like women could be probably like running the same type of organization or type of parties and stuff that Puff Daddy was accused of. So I don't know. It's interesting. But like I said earlier, even if that's true, I think that Ray J is playing a dangerous game. When you start to try to put yourself in a position where you can extort somebody for some hush money, because people know that when, like, the first time you get a person get extorted, once he run out of that money, say they do give him $5 million hush money. Once he run out of money, then like, what is he going to, is he going to come back for more? Is he going to try to extort him? Or maybe he may not be able to extort him personally, but he may like channel it through somebody else, give somebody else some information, through like a third party, whereas though he can, he can extort money from him. So people don't want to constantly get extorted. And I think this right here, man, is like I said, for Ray J, I think this is a dangerous situation, whereas though he might find himself, and like I said, man, this may get him taken out. So he gotta really be careful. I don't know if Ray J has like a substance abuse problem, and that might be clouding his judgment, because this extortion is not a way. Like, that's not a way to make a living, like extorting people, because some people, especially people with money and power, and a lot of times that's what you're dealing with. You can't make a living at extorting people. You just can't, unless you are the mob or something like that, and you extort people who have less power than you. But when you try to extort your way up with people who have more money and more resources than you, it don't work. You can a lot of times people, like I said, people extort people who don't have the money, the power, and the influence that they have. But the Kardashians got more pull than Ray J, more, probably more contacts than Ray J. So this is going to be interesting to see how this situation turn out, and they say the mother is not somebody who you want to play with. What's her name? Chris Kardashian, Chris Jenner, whatever her name is. But yeah, they say she's not the one to, she's the head of all of this. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ray J. So that's my take on it. Let me know what y'all think about. Do y'all think Ray J is playing a dangerous game? Y'all think he's going to be able to get away with, extorting them? So with that being said, man, y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.